We'll proceed in pseudo multivariable calculus. Pseudo multivariable calculus, this is the discussion that we are pursuing. Pseudo multivariable calculus, how we can write a code that looks very simple in a way that it is in multiplication, division, subtraction and addition, and later it will become calculus. Okay, what is fancy behind it? Anyway, we have talked about the area kind of area integration. There is something called line integration. There is something called area integration. We were talking about calculation of surface area through normal mathematics and calculation of the volume through normal mathematics. Anyway, we will proceed into the corroboration, means the proving it that we are actually right when we talk about calculation of area through a vector A cross B. If I take any simple shape as a rectangle and one side is A vector and another side is B vector, then A cross B is called area vector. And this area vector will be applied. It is valid. This area vector is valid. It is applicable in calculation of the area of a sphere that is non-rectangle. I believe I am clear in what I am saying. If someone has to calculate area of any kind of complex shape, okay, what is the complex shape that someone can think about the area? Okay, in that sense, shape can be anything. Complex shape can be this sphere what we have been taking, or it can be this also. What is surface area? What is surface area of this shape? Okay, it looked like very different thing. What is surface area of this shape? Or what is surface area of this sphere? These are non-rectangular. They are not rectangle. But people know how to calculate surface area of a rectangle or surface area of a parallelogram. Surface area of a rectangle is width into height. Surface area of a rectangle is width into height is the surface area of a rectangle. What is surface area of a shape called parallelogram? Then width vector cross product with the length vector give the surface area of a parallelogram. What is surface area of parallelogram? There is something called surface area vector. Makes sense? Means in order to calculate the complex surface area, this is complex surface area. If I want to calculate surface area of this item, this will be considered as a complex surface area. This surface area is a simple surface area where surface area is width into length is the surface area. Can Now I believe everyone knows how to calculate surface area of a rectangle. Multiply width into length is the surface area. Can I proceed in calculating the surface area by multiplying width and length to calculating surface area of a sphere where there is no width, there is no length? That is called pseudo multivariate calculus. Calculate the surface area of a very complex shape, but no one understands how to proceed upon it. You know the simplest case of surface area. Simplest case of surface area is width into length. Proceed from there one. Now width into length. Width is if I consider the surface area of a sim. Many times I have repeated this, but we are continuing repeating it because this is something that anyone can tackle. Very complex problem while calculating the surface area of a complex shape. Okay, calculating the surface area of a sphere, someone can start with the simplest case, that is a rectangle. Width into length. If this is origin and consider this point is x1, y1, z1 and this point is x2, y2, z2, then this width is x1 whole square plus y1 whole square plus z1 whole square root. Length is x2 whole square plus y2 whole square plus z2 whole square root. Multiplication of these two will give the surface area. Whereas x1 whole square plus y1 whole square plus z1 whole square, if someone takes it, it is as good as it is a magnitude of a vector x1I plus y1j plus z1k. Means magnitude of a vector that is origin to point x1 y1 z1 to point x2 y2 z2, multiplication of magnitude of these two vectors will give the area. That is magnitude of x1 I plus x2 j plus x1 I plus y1 j plus z1 k, magnitude of this vector, into magnitude of x2 I plus y2j plus z2k. Magnitude of these two vectors will give the area. Consider this is A vector and this is B vector. A vector magnitude into B vector magnitude will give the area, or same as A vector cross B vector, that is area vector, magnitude of it will give the area. We started from width and length and we came that A vector cross B vector, this is called area vector, and calculating magnitude of the area vector will give the net area. What is A vector? What is B vector? A vector is x1I plus y1j plus z1k. In generic form, it is xi plus yj plus zk. Cross xi plus yj plus zk will give the net area, where A vector is a vector representation of a straight line. B vector is a vector representation of a straight line. Means if I talk about A vector, this is origin, then this is A vector. This is B vector, which are a straight line. What about this surface area become a curved surface area? Then A vector become a line, a vector representation of a curved line. B vector will become vector representation of a curved line. If that is the case, then A vector xi plus yj plus zk and B vector xi plus yj plus zk, we have to denote these two vectors into a vector representation of a curved line. Now we have seen that for a curved line, what is difference between, see how we are proceeding, that is the concept I am trying to put forth, how we are proceeding step by step. Now vector representation of a straight line is a vector that connects one point to another point. If this point is x1 y1 z1 and this point is x2 y2 z2, vector representation of this line is x2 minus x1 j, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1 I, y2 minus y1j, and z2 minus z1k. Okay, or if it is origin and this is x comma y comma z, then it is xi plus yj plus zk. Now, if I want to represent a curved line, because we took instead of flat surface, curved surface. For curved surface, flat surface, there was vector straight line vector and straight line vector v. Now it becomes a curved line vector. What is vector representation of a curved line? What is vector representation? A curved line that connects point 0, comma 0, comma 0 to point x, comma y, comma z. Then we saw the difference between a straight line and a curved line is curved line y by x every moment. This is x axis, this is y axis. Y by x at any moment is different, whereas for a straight line, y by x at any moment is same thing. So to make our vector represent a curved line, I have to take it out. I have to represent in y by x. Now we have a vector that looks like parallel to x-axis and b vector parallel to y-axis. Now a vector is ai plus yj plus zk. I can take x out and it becomes I plus y by xj plus z by xk. Y by x is there. This is what we want. Into x cross product with b vector. I take out y there. I can take out anything y there. It becomes x by yi plus j plus z by yk into y. Division becomes differentiation and multiplication becomes integration. Now it becomes xi plus y. I'm sorry, I plus dy by dxj plus dz by dxk into division became differentiation. bracket close into x into dx. Cross product with dx by dyi plus j plus dz by dyk bracket close into y into dy. Okay, now when we are calculating surface area of 3D in Cartesian coordinate, then x and y axis are considered as orthogonal and independent to each other, where z is dependent upon xy plane. Independent component is xy plane and z is dependent component. In that sense, dy by dx will be 0 because they do not vary with each other, and dx by dy will be 0. Now area vector becomes I plus dz by dxk bracket close into dx cross product with bracket j plus dz by dyk bracket close into dy dz by dyk bracket close dy. This is called area vector. Now someone can calculate magnitude of this vector I plus dz by dxk bracket close into dx cross product with j plus dz by dyk bracket close into dy. Someone can calculate the magnitude of this vector. It will give area of anything. Area of anything. Okay, area of anything, right? Can you try the area of the surface? The surface is lying on xy plane. What is area of this? Okay, what is area of this? Then how much is, then I'm saying I plus dz by dx, I plus dz by dxk, I plus dz by dxk, dz, I'm sorry, I plus dz by dxk, cross product j plus dz by dyk, dx dy. Let's settle it down. If someone settle it down, it becomes minus dz by dxi minus dz by dyj plus k bracket close dx dy. Settle this vector and calculate the magnitude, you will get the surface area of this rectangle that is falling on the xy plane. If I see this rectangle dz by dx, okay, if I move along x-axis, then how much z is changing? It is not changing. The surface area, there is no z at all. It is falling on xy plane and z is more or less 0. In that sense, dz by dx is 0. dz by dy is 0. Only k will remain. The area is dx dy k vector. This area vector is in k direction. Now dx is from this point to this point and dy is from this point to this point. Width dx dy, width into length is the area, surface area of this. Amazing, mind blowing. Okay, that is the scenario with the, okay, someone can try parallelogram also. Parallelogram on xy plane where we have where we have kind of again dz by parallelogram also. I believe dz by dx will be 0 and something like that. Someone can try. X is from one limit to another limit and y is from one limit to another limit. Someone can try because this is generic formula. Anyway, now before proceeding into surface area vector, I'm sorry, surface area integral, we were talking about what is the, right now, what is the area vector? Area vector is I plus dz by dx, I plus dz by dxk, bracket close dx, cross product j plus dz by dyk, bracket close dy. We are calling it area vector. Okay, we are saying this is our area vector. Okay, we will proceed. Can you prove this from approved technology? This is our technology that we brought something called width vector, length vector. Width, length vector. A vector cross B vector gave the area vector. A vector earlier it was a straight line vector, B vector earlier it was a straight line vector. We transformed into curve line vector and B as curve line vector, and then we proceeded, and then finally we calculated the kind of surface area. Okay, that is the more or less, that is the scenario. Anyway, can you use your high class pseudo multivariate calculus in doing some real life exam? Okay, there is something called radioactive material. Okay, we will proceed into the surface area. What we are talking about? There is something called radio. People consider this as an assignment that there is a parallelogram. There is a parallelogram where it is going from on x-axis, it is going from 0 to x. From x-axis, it is going 0 to x. And in y-axis, it is going from 0 to y. Or from on x, there is a parallelogram. Instead of a rectangle, parallelogram, one is going 0 to a, and then y, it is going 0 to b, and it makes angle theta. Okay, otherwise it is making angle 90 degree for the rectangle. And then we happily say that you can calculate surface area of anything with minus dz by dx minus I minus dz by dyj plus k, bracket close. Surface area of anything, someone can calculate dx dy. Consider this as an assignment. And can someone we calculated for the rectangle right now? Can someone calculate the surface area of a parallelogram through this concept? This concept arisen from a basic that was xi plus yj plus zk cross product with xi plus yj plus zk, a vector, b vector. Here we took out x, making a vector as a curved line vector, that is I plus y by xj plus z by xk into x cross product with x by yi plus j plus z by yk, bracket close, into y. Okay, this is typically, we call it a two curve line vector. If I represent in calculus, division become differentiation and multiplication become integration. Then it became I plus dy by dx j plus dz by dxk, bracket close, into x into dx. Cross product with dx by dy I plus j plus dz by dyk, bracket close, into y into dy. Okay, we took dy by dx as 0 and dx by dy as 0, considering they do not vary with each other. They are orthogonal to each other and they do not vary. So 0. Then it turned into I plus dz by dxk, bracket close, dx cross product with j plus dz by dyk, bracket close, dy. This is called area vector. If someone first settle down the differentiation, and then it will come as a full integral in vector term, calculating the magnitude and then calculating integration will give the surface area. Someone we have done with so many ways calculating the surface area of a sphere. Someone can try surface area of a parallelogram where x-axis and y-axis. For a parallelogram, for a parallelogram, there are two sides. Two sides, they make theta angle with each other. If it is a rectangle, they make 90 degree with each other. If it is a parallelogram, they make theta angle with each other. Where x is from 0 to a, x axis from 0 to a, and y axis from y is 0 to b, but it makes angle. This is not b. This length is not b. Y is 0 to b. Okay, but this angle is theta. Okay, this is the parallelogram. If I someone calculate the height b and this length, then anyway he gets the concept. Okay, I'll rephrase it. Consider this length is b. The parallelogram, this length is b. Earlier it was a rectangle. Earlier it was a rectangle and this length was b and this length was a, and it was making 90 degree. Now I tilted it. Now this is b, this is a, and this is angle theta. Okay, then what is the area of this when we consider area vector as I plus dy by dxj plus dz by dxk, bracket close, into dx cross product with dx by dy plus j plus dz by dxk, bracket close, into dy. Okay, that someone has to calculate for the parallelogram. Anyway, we will proceed mind blowing our pseudo multivariate calculus with, consider there is a radioactive material. Consider there is a radioactive material. I don't have radioactive material. I try to bring everything, but radioactive. Consider this is a radioactive material. consider this. This is a e-cigarette. Okay, I don't smoke cigarette, but somehow I have kept it because I need this electronic circuit somehow. Anyway, if I break it, then there will be electronic circuit and there will be a nicotine or whatever. I mean, I can try breaking it. There will be a pack of nicotine. So e-cigarette or whatever cigarette it is, will be a pack of nicotine. And nicotine, if someone switch it is on, okay, no on, someone can switch it on. Okay, it is on, battery is discharged. So if someone switch, battery is discharged, okay, okay, it is throwing, it is now pushing the nicotine air, okay, nicotine air from here. I believe it is all right. Means if I switch it on, no smell, not much smell. If I switch it on, then there is some air coming out and that is nicotine. Okay, I have never tried nicotine in my life. Anyway, there is nicotine. Now, if I break it, then there will be a nicotine packet will be there where it will be filled with nicotine. Okay, and this electronic circuit will heat that nicotine packet and then air will come out with the nicotine. Means people they smell it. I have just brought it for this explanation one. Now, in that case, now nicotine, time to time, nicotine from the nicotine bag is shrinking. Okay, it is shrinking. Consider it is shrinking on its own. That is uranium. Uranium means if you keep uranium, it will start shrinking on its own. It will start decaying. Okay. Now, can someone tell me that what is that? There is something called what is the equation for the decay? What I'm trying to say. If I take out the nicotine bag from it and consider the mass of nicotine at the moment when I have brought it, it is x. It is x0 at the time 0. The mass of the nicotine bag is x0. Mass of the nicotine bag is x0. If mass of the nicotine bag is x0. Okay. Now, can you someone tell me that any moment what is the mass of the nicotine? Because it is decaying. Consider it is decaying with the time. After 60 hours, after 60 hours, it won't be x0. What the size? What was the mass of the nicotine bag here? At time t0, mass was x0. Now after 60 hours, 60 hours. After 60 hours, I am seeing it, then mass has reduced. Now, every moment I am seeing it, mass is reducing. Can someone derive a formula that any moment xt, x0 means x, and down right side denominator, postscript, I don't know what it is called. Okay, x0 means x at time equal to 0. The mass is x0. What is the equation of it is at any time t, xt. Okay, that person has to derive it, xt. Okay, this is the assignment now. What is the assignment? The assignment is that if I have a uranium bag and uranium starts shrinking time to time. Okay, at the beginning, when I brought the bag, the uranium mass was x0. At time t equal to 0, uranium mass was x0. Okay, if that is the case, at any time t, what is the mass? That someone has to bring. Anyway, there is also very famous called half-life time period. Half-life time period means what is the time period? There is a fixed thing in uranium that after this much time, the uranium quantity will reduce to its half. Whatever it was there at time equal to t equal to 0, after the half-life time period, if it was mass was x0, it will become x0 by 2. If at time t equal to 0, the mass is x0, when time is a life of when time is half lifetime period, consider half lifetime period is 20 hours. After 20 hours, the mass will be x0 by 2. Now from here again I calculate it after 20 hours. Then whatever is right now x0 by 2, it will become again half x0 by 4. Again after 20 hours, it will become x0 4 by 2, x0 by 8. It is going like this. That is called half lifetime period. That also need to be calculated. Can someone calculate a formula that is xt equal to what? At any moment, what is the mass? Okay, I don't know what is the actual way of deriving this formula. I really don't. Okay, but can you apply your pseudo multivariate calculus? Pseudo multivariate case says that start with the simple mathematics. What is simple mathematics? If I make one unit of change in the time, one unit can be 1 hour, 1 second, 1 minute, 1 microsecond, 1 picosecond, anything. If I make one unit of change in the time, how much unit of change in the mass I see? X by t. At any moment, consider mass is x. Okay, I'm sorry. Mass is x. At any moment, time is t. Okay, x by t. X by t means if I make one unit of change x by t, x is mass and t is time. What is x by t? X by t is 5. 5 means per unit change in time brings 5 unit of change in the mass. If mass if mass is 1000 gram and time per unit time I am calculating in hour and x by t is 5, then every hour 5 gram is reducing, that is x by t. What is your uranium mass by time? Mass by time is per unit change in the time brings how many unit of change in the mass? Rather, I would say minus 5 because it is decreasing. Okay, I know my x by t. For the uranium x by t, change in the mass per unit change in the time. That is called mathematical division. The definition of mathematical division is per unit change in denominator brings how many unit change in numerator, that is x by t. Numerator is x mass and denominator is time, x by t. X by t is dependent upon the current mass. The change in the mass per unit time is dependent upon the current mass. This is what we understand. It can be x square also. It is dependent upon square of the mass. Okay, it is sine of x. X by t is directly proportional to sine of x. Means any moment what is the change in the mass per unit change in the time, it is not constant. The way we were thinking 5, it is not constant. It is dependent upon the sine of x. What is the mass right now? If I calculate sinusoidal over x, that whatever value comes, x by t is directly proportional to that, or x by t is directly proportional to x. X by t is directly proportional to x square. X by t is directly proportional to e to the power x. X by t is directly proportional to log x. People can think anything. But in uranium radioactive material, x by t is directly proportional to x. Means whatever is the mass right now, change in the mass per unit time is proportional to the mass. Means change in the mass per unit of the time is more when mass is more. If mass is less, then change in mass per unit time is less. Make sense? Means x by t is directly proportional to x. Make sense? If I remove the directly proportional, then it will be settled as x by t equal to kx. K is some constant. Make sense? Now, what is now multiplication? Multiplication will become integration and differentiation will become division will become differentiation. Okay, now in that sense, x by t, that is division, where x is dependent upon x is, I'm sorry, it is x by t equal to kx. This x and this x is different. This x by t, this x is come into the figure when we are trying to, let's let's go different way. Okay, let's go different way. Okay, what is different way is that I would rather say that x by t is proportional to x. I said x by t is proportional to x. X by t change in proportional to function over x. That is the better one. I believe we described it. X by t, x by t, x by t is directly proportional to function over x. Means x by t is not constant. It is dependent upon some function over x. I believe it is all right. It is dependent upon some function over x. Okay, in that sense, x by t equal to k into fx. Okay, now in that sense, it becomes x by fx equal to k into t. Okay, now x by fx. Okay, fx, x by fx. Okay, now there is a division. If there is a division, if there is a division and numerator, that is x, numerator is x, that is what is the change in x we are seeing. Okay, it is dependent upon fx. What is right now? Actually, it should be other way. Okay, let's go with a different way. Another way. We have x by t equal to f equal directly proportional to k into fx. I'm sorry, x by t directly proportional to fx. X by t equal to k into fx. Okay, x by t. We are trying to find division change. We are trying to find change in x with the per unit change in the t. Change in x per unit change in the t. Okay, now if I this falls in differential equation, but anyway we will solve it. X by t is division. X by t is division equal to k into x, k into fx. Actually fx is x, just leave it like that. X by t, change in x with per unit change in the time, considering that time is independent component and x is dependent component. Certainly x is dependent component. When time is growing, x is reducing, means x is dependent upon the time, and x is dependent upon the time, and x by t is dependent upon the x also. Okay, anyway, now x by t, since it is division, it will be transformed into differentiation because numerator is dependent upon denominator. If someone has better explanation, then he can think of. Change in x is dependent upon change in time. Time is independent component and x is dependent component. And if there is a division between dependent and independent, division will be transformed into differentiation. It becomes dx by dt equal to k into x. I believe it is all right. Now, in that sense, it will become dx by x equal to k into t. Okay. Now, someone can say that how you know that change in the mass per unit change in the time is directly proportional to x. It is not x square law. It can be anything. That's why I started with fx. This is the nature of uranium, nature of radioactive material. That change in the mass per unit change in the time is proportional to the mass only, not mass square. Anyone can do research. There can be other radioactive material. They may not be directly proportional to the straightforward mass. This is also possible. In that way, dx by dt, right now dx by dt equal to k into x. Dx by x equal to k into dt. Now this forms a differential equation. Dx by x equal to k into dt. Now someone can integrate both sides. Now x will start from x0, that was the beginning mass, and right now xt at any time t, or x0 to x. Okay, x0 to x, x0 to x dx by x, okay, equal to k into t. I have to put a negative here because dx, if you remember well, we started with division is negative because it is reducing. So it will be dx by dt equal to minus k into x. We're considering k as a positive constant. Dx by dt equal to minus k into x. Now it becomes dx by x, integration from x0 to x or x0 to xt equal to minus k dt. Time is time from 0 to any time t. Now this is ln natural log of x minus natural log of x0 or natural log x by x0. Makes sense? Natural log of x by x0. Okay, and then that side minus kt, that is the integration of t0 to t. In that sense, it becomes ln. Ln, if I take that side, it will become exponential. Xt will be x0, k into x0, I'm sorry, x0 e to the power minus kt. This is the equation of the uranium mass any moment. That is x at any t equal to x0 e to the power minus kt. K is denoted by lambda also. Okay, what is the half lifetime period? Consider t equal to t is half lifetime period. Then in that sense, x will be x0 by 2. x0 by 2 equal to x0. That will be 1 by 2. Natural log of 1 by 2, natural log of 1 by 2 equal to minus kt. Okay, that is natural log of 1 by 2 is ln 1 minus ln 2. Okay, if I do ln 2 minus ln 1, then that side will become positive. In that sense, tau, that half lifetime period will be ln 2 minus ln 1. I believe ln 1 is 0. So ln 2 by k, that is the half lifetime period. The half lifetime period of uranium is natural log of 2. I don't know what is the value, natural log of 2 divided by the K constant. K constant is different for different kind of radioactive material. Okay, now we deduce a formula xt equal to x0 e to the power minus kt, or half lifetime period equal to ln of 2 by k. With the pseudo multivariate calculus, where pseudo code we started with the x by t, change in the mass per unit change in the time is directly proportional to the what is the mass right now. If mass is big, then change per unit time will be big. If mass is very small, the per unit change, the change in the mass will be small only. In that sense, x by t become kx. X by t is division and numerator is dependent upon denominator. It will become a differential calculus. dx by dt equal to kx. I'm sorry, minus kx because it is reducing. Dx by x equal to minus k dt. Dx by x, x0 to xt, it becomes ln xt by x0 equal to equal to minus kt. X equal to xt equal to x0 e to the power minus kt. Half lifetime period xt is x0 by 2, 1 by 2 minus kt, minus if you take care it becomes ln equal to kt. Half lifetime period is ln 2 by k. Amazing, mind blowing. Anyone can solve any complex, we will see more complex equation also. Anyone can solve any complex equation just through multiplication, division, subtraction and addition. Subtraction and addition also very big thing that we will see in artificial intelligence, how addition becomes integral calculus all of the way, because repeated addition is multiplication only and multiplication is integral calculus. This is called pseudo code. We write simple mathematics and it becomes calculus, and then we solve the problem. We will see other stuff also and we will proceed. Please do not mind supporting us. Plus 91 is the India country code. 9483160610 is the telephone number. 9483160610 is the telephone number. Plus 91 is the India country code.